The Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. We are here live, and we are recording Treehouse of Horror-thon. Woo!
Here we are live discussing the dead.
And we are celebrating by watching three episodes of Treehouse of Horror tonight.
How many Treehouse of Horror?
3. And you know what?
1 to 3.
But wait, there's more.
No. I have 3 guests tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, the index has sprouted another column. Go around the room, introduce yourselves.
I'm Steve Buscemi.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cheeks. I've been doing my rounds and I'm a little behind.
Guys, really? How am I supposed to follow? I'm just Dave. I'm just regular old Dave. Guys. No.
And that's Dave.
I was regular Dave.
So yeah, and BT and Danny for those
I'm weekend Dave.
Wow.
So we just watched Season 5, Episode 5, Treehouse of Horror 4. Guys, what'd you think?
Well, I think the audience would appreciate if a synopsis, for those of you who have not memorized which one Treehouse of Horror 4 is.
Yep.
Synopsize the shit out of this.
Yeah, what
Actually,
happened?
yeah, let's go through and I'll discuss the theme that holds them all together. This is Bart going through all the portraits. You may remember that one. And then the first segment is...
Well, the first segment is the one where turns out that Marge is actually the head vampire, but they all think that it's Burnsy the whole time.
First segment.
Oh, shoot. Hang on. It was the one with the... It wasn't the one with the school bus.
Keep
I
going.
can do this. First segment. Oh, the best segment. Why could I even not have that on the tip of my tongue? It was so good that no one could possibly forget what it was about.
Forbidden Donuts.
I
couldn't tell.
I wasn't stalling.
You're stalling and you're not stalling look fucking identical.
I am an actor.
So yeah, let's discuss the bits one by one. The Forbidden Donut. Man, Devil Flanders.
Oh, powerful.
man.
And it started so strong, man. The catwalk donut dream. And he wakes up and he's like, nah, let me make this dream a reality.
Yeah.
One joke that I don't know, that I laughed as much as I do now was just Lenny and Carl going, yeah, there were some donuts left over, but we threw them at an old man for kicks.
Because this is classic Simpsons. It wasn't enough to just say, oh, we ate them all. It's like, we ate them all and did something stupid with the rest.
Yeah, there were plenty left, but we just like hucked him at cars,
Because
man.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Not even hucked him at cars, we hucked him at the elderly.
Because this is Springfield and that's just what you do.
And then they had a cutaway to the elderly. It's not quite Family Guy, but like showing the punchline after the joke is...
But I like the story that it tells that, like, Grandpa may have been there to visit Homer or something, and then Lenny and Carl just pegged donuts at him.
Wow.
Yeah, like, what do you want to do? I don't know. Throw donuts at that guy? Sure.
Yeah, the story behind the story.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I want to go get some donuts and throw them at people now.
Yeah.
Like, don't you want to try that? Especially the elderly.
That'd be great. If you like lick the glazed donut, you think it sticks to the back of his head.
Is it weird that I want to let you throw donuts at me?
I mean, a little.
We're
Do you
getting
wanna be ravaged
fetish-
by
Wait.
donuts?
Yeah, did we
I
just,
mean, like, I'm wearing most of my clothes in this kind of...
did we just find your fetish?
My favorite website.
Find
Covered in
my
donut
fetish
being
all
ravaged
over.
by birds.com.
Like, I'm just all I'm gonna say is I might text your wife and tell her to buy some donuts, and she can throw them at you when you get home. Just see how you like it, man.
Yeah, I'm going to plead the fifth on this one.
So anyway, back to the Forbidden Donut. So Devil Flanders, Homer goes, I'll sell my soul for a donut, and Devil Flanders rises.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Who
think
would've
that can
thought?
be arranged.
Homer outwits him just like, I'm going to click in the mic
Bam.
and scare you. Click. Just like, bam! Just like, bam! Oh, Homer's just like, yo, don't, devil, you think you're all that? Well, you're not. I am so much smarter. I'm the savviest of intellectuals.
Yeah,
Word for
coming
word
from
translation.
Homer, though, I mean, like, that is really quite
Yeah,
out
it
of
was
the blue.
unexpectedly
Yeah.
intellectual. And he was right. I mean, if he hadn't
Yeah, he goes, well,
then seconds
technically.
later...
I didn't just like finish this bite then, but I mean, like, he quite smartly pockets that little piece of the donut
Yep.
though. Like,
Yeah.
that was another smart
Yeah.
move. There's a good chance, like, if he just binned it, right? What's to say the devil wouldn't then take that tiny little
Oh,
piece of
man.
donut and then
Magic
like
pour it
mush it
somehow.
up, put it in other bits of his food, and make him eat it.
I maintain if Homer threw the remainder of the donut away, that implies he's done with it.
He's
and
still
therefore
doing
he's
something
finished
with it.
it.
Yeah, he's chosen
Ooh,
he's chosen to get rid of it.
finished
He's
it.
finished
Like-
it because he
like
threw it
when
away.
you eat 3/4 of a Subway sandwich and you like the rest is just soggy mess, you chuck that in the bin, you're done with the sandwich.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But if you sold
Sandwich.
your soul for that Subway sandwich...
And you're technically done with it. Your soul is
You're done. You just wasted that last. You threw that last little bit of yourself in the bin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yet another smart move from Homer. What the hell?
Well, I mean, for
Hell
about
being operated
4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
But then, like, he gives in to temptation.
Forbidden donut. Oh,
Exactly.
Wow.
It's-
Symbolism.
Yeah,
feel like-
exactly.
How good
Yeah.
was the animation in that bit? I think you were
No.
just going,
My
Dave,
God.
you were going like, wow.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I love about like a lot of the Halloween specials is that they always use great angles. They always try and like twist
Yeah,
it a little
for
bit, make you
real.
get like a different perspective on things. But another part of it is that they have great use of like flash and shadow in these things as well. Like
definitely.
they'll always have like like a line delivered, and there'll be like a thunderclap and lightning, and they'll have like a double flash of like the face with like the long shadows over the eyes and
Yeah,
everything.
it's your classic
shot where the-
campfire horror. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. That shot where the devil turns into like the Fantasia devil for
Yeah.
like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Yeah.
angle, beautiful lighting.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're using an animation technique there where they like turn up the light that were
The backlighting,
Yeah,
yeah,
the backlighting
yeah.
for the animation cells like up way too high,
Yeah.
and that's where you get those really bright yellows and oranges from. That
It
yeah.
is sexy as fuck. I mean, like between those angles, that lighting, some theremin, and some church
Yeah,
bells,
the Marge.
you can get me
spiral.
rock fucking hard. I mean, fuck the donuts. Like, yeah, that alone will always, yeah.
Yeah.
And
that
change
shot
my
of
mind.
Marge's hair. Wow.
Yeah, what were you saying about?
Pulled into the spiral vortex of hell, Marge's hair.
Yeah.
Oh man, all the best scenes in every cartoon is the transitional shot of you descending into hell. You know, it's
Yeah.
is it the Beavis and Butthead? It's not. It's like the Bill and Ted descend into hell.
That was a good descent
Well,
into
Beavis
hell.
and Butthead as well when they trip on peyote and they end up going to
Yes.
the
All like
alternate hell.
the heavy metal descents into hell. What's the one with like the heavy metal guitars and all the like?
All of them.
Oh, there's the South Park.
Yeah.
That was a wicked good
Yeah,
soundtrack.
that was pretty
that was
sweet.
a great one,
going to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's even things like, early, I think Donald Duck goes to hell, and that gets very similar. It's all black and white.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, like,
Black and
as you
white.
mentioned before, the Fantasia one where hell comes up as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
it's like a license for the creative artist
Yeah.
team to just go nuts.
But
you
then,
know?
like, to bring that in as well, you notice in Fantasia and with what they've done with a lot of the Halloween ones, they use the same color palette as well. So you
Yeah.
see lots of fluoro greens,
Yeah.
purples,
Yeah.
blues, and it just makes it look beautiful. I mean, it's dark, but it's also bright. It's that
I
sort
love
of like spirit
the
realm
license
element.
to
Yeah.
really like just be psychedelic with it. Because I mean, you could just as easily do it in all red tones, and it'd be boring and samey. Or you could do it in all earth tones. You're going under the earth, and
Yeah.
it'd still be boring and samey.
Terror is colorful, motherfucker.
People are just like,
Yeah.
how much can we freak this out? You know?
Yeah.
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 And then he drops onto the conveyor belt of Dune. I love conveyor belt humor.
Oh,
It
Yeah.
doesn't play that, but you can hear it immediately
Yeah.
as soon as a
Yeah.
conveyor belt.
And the classic shoving all the donuts in, have all the donuts in the world.
The ironic hell department.
I think it's kind of weird that they make hell look fun. Like
do.
this,
They really
like this
do.
episode, I don't know if it kind of twisted me up as a kid, but it kind of made me want to go to hell.
Just a little
And
bit.
everyone's like, "Go to hell." I'm like, "Fine." I mean,
Donuts, motherfucker.
I've kind of got a glimpse. It looks fucking fun. So
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
And yeah, for the record, I don't know who James Coco is, and I don't know why that would make him mad in 15 minutes.
I assume it's a
Yeah.
fat guy. He ate lots of donuts.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. Internet, prove me wrong. We'll get back to you later.
Yeah.
yeah.
Why don't you tweet us at the Simpsons Index and tell us why we're wrong?
At Simpsons Index.
He did say at the Simpsons Index.
Nice play.
No, you can't put the.
Oh,
in
there's
it.
no the.
No.
Beach, what are you doing, man?
would
There goes all of our audience.
I don't understand Twitter.
You just got to tweet
Look,
at people.
here's what the deal with Twitter. What it is
This is not the time and place. And we're back.
and we're back. So yeah, I love that bit. The forbidden donut. Anything else to?
You know what
do
I
on
would have
that
liked?
bit?
You just said it, and I was like, you're totally right. Conveyor belt humor. Every time I see a conveyor belt, I expect somehow to end up with a bowling pin.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
somehow I need to end up with a bowling pin. Homer should have gone down it and just been like prodded and kicked and bandsawed and end up with like his head in a bowling pin or
Yeah.
something.
Man, that is another great conveyor belt joke. It sort of ties back to Rune Goldberg sort of stuff as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I love a good conveyor belt
Oh,
guy.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I was gonna say when he pops back from hell and goes into that courtroom scene.
Oh yeah, the courtroom.
Yeah,
scene.
yeah. One, well, a couple of things. One, I really like seeing Lionel Hutz in friggin' anything. Like him just being like the Simpsons' go-to lawyer, when he's being, like coming up
How
against
many times are they going to make that same mistake?
brushing his hair with a fork. It's like, it's like.
I watched Matt Larkin in a bar last night. The sound wasn't on, but I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
I know, I can do this.
It just screams confidence. And it's like, the jury were decided by me. Agreed. No,
Agreed.
wait. And
that was one of my favorite trivia questions when I did Halloween trivia last year, was making you name all the jury of the damned. You guys got so close as well. There was like two missing.
Philadelphia Flyers.
The Philadelphia Flyers.
And then you had the voice of Jasper as Death. As the judge.
Well, man, he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the grave already. So.
Oh yeah, he's pretty much halfway there. But the one thing that really got me was that the premise of the defense was that Homer had already given his soul to Marge.
Yep.
And as a result, the devil could not make a claim on Homer's soul.
Homer didn't have a soul to give away.
That being said, Homer did make a deal with the devil and consume said donut, which means that
Homer still owes a soul.
Exactly.
You just want the sequel where he has to go.
So Simpsons writers, Dave just gave you the premise for a sequel.
Well,
Yeah, for real.
not just
Homer
a
has
sequel.
to
I mean,
make
like
one soul.
Homer has to either acquire a soul, but again, like going into sort of
Soul debt,
demon
soul
lore
debt.
and whatnot. Homer should have then defaulted to the next firstborn soul in
my
his line, which
God.
means Bart was then guaranteed to the devil. That being said,
And that's why
Bart
Bart is
That seems so amicable.
Exactly. That being said, Bart already being technically the evil one or black sheep of the family already is on an in with the devil. You see it when he comes up in the kitchen. It's like, hey, Bart.
They're like,
Hey.
Hey, yeah, exactly. So he's pretty much already going to go to hell, which means it would then knock
He
back
may have even
down
already
to
sold his
Lisa.
soul.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even.
So Lisa would then be guaranteed a spot in hell. Now, if something were to happen and she were to redeem herself, it would then knock down to Maggie,
yeah, well,
the true innocent. Now,
no,
that's the one.
Maggie shot a dude, yo.
But she's also
Yeah.
the sacred child.
Sacred child. Later, much later. Says, I'm going to say, what if, time is often not relative in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
What if simply by this act of passing the contract down, Bart was damned to be the bad one from the beginning, no matter what?
Whoa, it's like
It retroactively made him the bad child because his soul's already gone.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, vis-a-vis the.
But then he gives away his soul.
Bart
he
gives away his
gets-
soul anyway.
Well, that's
Well,
why
he
he
had
has
to-
the soul and he gets it back.
But perhaps he had to
like,
earn
Shadow
it
Walker.
first.
Yeah.
Remember at the end of that episode, Lisa's like, some philosophers believe you have to earn a soul through suffering. So he had no soul until he believed he'd given it away, and then he found out that,
Wow.
no, it grew inside you once you made that sacrifice.
Yeah.
You're still going to hell, though, sorry.
Oh man, it's
Yeah.
like Wizard of Oz, the power to go home. You had it all along. Like,
yeah, someone probably should have mentioned that to you, Dorothy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Could have
Mention it at the
avoided
start,
this
Dorothy. I could have said it.
whole
I
thing.
didn't.
I also like in this episode, Homer only has a watch on when he needs to look at it.
Yeah.
it pops up and it amuses me every time.
Wow.
So Terror at 5.5 feet, the
Yes.
Twilight Zone
Well,
parody.
here's the fun part. This is a double Rod Serling reference.
double.
Because the paintings at the beginning, the overarch for this
Yeah.
episode is Rod Serling's second show called Night Museum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he did another show similar to Twilight Zone where paintings would represent each story, and he was the presenter of that. So you got a Rod Serling as the meta narrative, and Rod Serling as the Twilight Zone Terror at 30,000 feet ripoff, Terror at 5.5 feet.
They are
so
spit
professional.
roasting this episode.
I love Rod Serling.
I was going to say someone did his research for this episode, but no, you've been training your life for Rod Serling references.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I love this one. Like, totally works without you knowing the Twilight Zone
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
gremlin on the side. I
Although,
think
Beach, tell me about a world between time and space, between light and dark.
But spoken by a man who may have something in his mouth, or is possibly drunk.
Oh, shit.
submitted for your approval.
Sorry, back on
It
target.
turns out it's man.
It's always man.
So yeah, Bart's fearful of the gremlin on the side of the bus, that old chestnut,
Yeah.
and we meet Uda for the first time.
You know what bugs me
Yeah.
about this episode?
What?
What bugs you about this episode?
Thanks, Beach. It bugs me that there's not enough, like, Shatner.
You want to be a little
You
bit more
think there'd be a
Shatner-y.
Shatner reference at least,
Well,
like somewhere?
Even Shatner wasn't Shatner at this point. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't quite Shatner that we know and love.
Yeah, so it wasn't a
yeah,
caricature of himself. But here we are now. I mean, not now, but then. I mean,
Yeah.
surely you could have had at least some sort of little nod and a wink, you know?
How about Shatner it up a little bit? Yeah.
Sure, like there's something on the wing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's drilled into my head.
But
It's
he
glued into my
doesn't.
brain.
Yeah, but Bart doesn't full on go for that.
No, he
Well, no,
doesn't.
and that is what is good because it is
Still the
only
character.
shadowing sort of the Twilight Zone. So
Yeah.
for an ignoramus like me,
Principal Skinner.
who was about to ask, "Oh, was William Shatner in the? There's a gremlin on the side of the plane."
Well,
bit?"
you wouldn't have had to ask that if your childhood had Shatner gag in the Treehouse of Horror. You'd
No, no.
know that like
I actually agree because those who didn't know the reference, they'd be like, "Why is Bart talking like that? That's weird." Whereas this is in character, but taking that situation and putting it in the Simpsons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so Principal
it.
Skinner in that as well.
Total
with all
authoritarian.
those great lines,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Mother hid my keys for talking
Oh
to a
my
woman on the phone.
God.
She was right to do it.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
distressing
And the
news.
dead zombie eyes afterwards.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
No. I've heard distressing news about a child using his imagination. What was the last one he says at the end?
The only monster on this bus is a
lack of respect
lack
for
of
the
respect for the rules.
And then at
Maybe-
the end,
yeah.
Bart's like, "I was right. I tell you, I was right." He's like, "Maybe so, but your behavior was totally unacceptable."
Maybe life in the mental asylum will sort you out.
Yep.
Teach you the
Yeah.
error of your ways.
And it's a bit of a dark gag, but I laughed. Groundskeeper Willie jumps on the bus.
Yeah, it's like,
He has to shoot his mule 17 times.
Because he wouldn't walk in the mud.
17.
Yeah, I loved this segment so much.
Yeah.
It's
The pacing of this whole show has just been amazing. So
Yeah.
tightly scripted.
Aye.
And, scripted, oh man. Like the writing is just really well timed. And
especially when you got to tell a whole story in 7
yeah,
minutes.
it feels like
Yeah.
you don't
7
go
minutes.
10 seconds without a joke. It's
yeah,
just packed.
yeah.
It's amazing.
It's like the Treehouse of Horror is like challenge the challenge round for the creative writers. You know,
Yeah.
you don't get 30 minutes to set up a plot and introduce characters and flesh out things. You got boom 7 minutes in out you're
Yeah,
done.
you know, in like a heist movie, when the lead handsome guy says, like, the specialist is like, "How long you need?" And he goes, "Oh, I need about 2 hours." You got 20 minutes. It's that
Yeah.
equivalent where the
Yeah.
showrunner is like, "Well, how long you need to write an episode?" I know, 25 minutes. No, you have 7 minutes to be funny, motherfucker.
Any other quotes from this section you wanted to pull out before we move on to the final one?
Not necessarily a quote, but probably like a change of view on Flanders. Because you go from the episode where he is the
Yeah.
devil and you accept him as the devil and like his nefarious and whatnot. And then it cuts to this when the little monster gets like caught on fire and flung off the side of the bus. He rolls down and Flanders pulls over and it's like, "Oh, it's like a little monster.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
he
trying
takes
to
off
claw
his
my
jacket
eyes
and
out."
rubs it, and he looks like the perfect Christian with a little
Exactly,
pink shirt
yeah.
all
So like
wrapped up.
he goes back to that sort of like pure
Pure
kind
and
of
absolute
like
humility
all loving kind of guy. But
Love all God's creatures.
But that being said, like you still kind of carry over that, like, well, you know, he was just the devil. It's like, oh, he's trying to claw my eyes out. That's very much like an Addams Family-esque. It's like, oh, look, he's trying to cut my head off. That's
Yeah.
that's adorable. Yeah.
You little scamp, you keep
Well,
trying.
even then, when he was just
Yeah.
just a decapitated head,
Idly
he was, "Idly Hobart."
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
that
Which,
one in
you
my
know,
dreams.
slightly supernatural. Is that just Devil Flanders trying to fuck with Bart's head?
Ooh,
Yeah. Ooh.
who's the real
Deep
Gremlin?
meta narrative.
That's solid. I mean, there's no way they were the last words of a dying corpse.
He didn't have lungs. Where
Oh
did
no! I
the-
mean that
yeah.
aside, like if you suddenly get your head chopped off, do you just say hi to the guys in the bus? Oh, hi guys!
Or
Here
in
I
that
am,
go-
headless.
Yeah.
Bet
Just
that
to
in a few
spite you,
minutes,
if I ever get decapitated, I'll make sure that my last words are Heidely Hobart.
I
Nice.
knew you'd
But,
say that.
I mean, like,
I knew you'd say that.
that being said, you do get a little bit of like post time once your head is cut off. I remember hearing about these two guys that hated each other, got their heads cut off, their heads fell in the same basket. One face bit the other head.
What the?
And then when they
funk?
lifted like the heads out, like one was biting the other one, and it was like clamped to it.
Well, that's some hate, man.
Yeah.
No man, it's like you got 10 seconds. What else are you gonna do?
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
why
like,
that-
I'm gonna bite my decapitated rival in the face with my decapitated
Yeah.
head.
Wow.
Well, that's why you put a magazine into the head basket.
Yes.
Something to do.
Yeah.
Stumps are us.
I mean,
What if you've already read it?
preferably.
Oh, this is the same one from the dentist office.
Oh, yeah.
I liked, just to wrap up this bit, I liked the bit where the flares are in Martin's shorts. Bart goes and pulls out one of the flares.
The other one falls
So
out. He goes back, puts it back.
Yeah.
Great bit.
Martin's shirt, Wayne Computers.
But again, just to reinforce the animation, Wayne Computers. And just to reinforce the animation as well, and the angles as well. I love the angles of the boss. I love the animation with the gremlins. And stuff.
Where like Bart is looking out the window at the gremlin, like pulling that last like couple of bolts out. You can see, it's just beautiful. Like, yeah.
Have we mentioned Uter yet?
Yeah.
Uter being introduced and would you like some of my
Would you like a
iodized
lick
joy
of my
joys?
flavor blocking?
My flavor blocking.
My Maximon Joy Joys.
Mit
man.
Mit iodine. There's a joke that flew over my head. And I love Lisa's line as well. What is it? Bart's a little upset. Can everyone be nice to him?
Oh my god. I'm just like, I was stunned as a child. I'm still stunned. She's just like throwing down the gauntlet there.
Yeah. Her first line of, Bart, what's wrong? I just had a vision of my untimely death. And?
Oh, Homer. Hey, bud, look what I stole down at the marina. It's just lying in some guy's boat.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a great thing about these ones. There's so many like little bit jokes just come along as you're going through.
Just like side alleys.
And they don't over-explain them. Like, they don't over-explain. This is a joke that's happening.
It's
We're
great.
silly.
They don't milk the humor. If this was even Futurama, but I'm thinking like if this was a more modern series of the same thing, they'd sit on that joke and like rub it in your face a little to make sure you don't miss it.
Absolutely.
You know what I think it is? It's in this, when the joke happens, they're in the joke.
Yeah.
They're not talking about the set. They're not like pointing it out. They're not saying, oh, we did this setup for the joke, and here is the joke, and now that is the joke. Wasn't that a funny joke?
Yeah, it's definitely behind the Simpsons.
Yeah.
All right, so anything else to wrap up this segment? No?
I really want to get to the next one.
Next one. All right, we threw something together with vampires. Oh, but that whole bit with Homer and the dogs. Oh my god, hilarious.
I want to watch that one.
all the
It was
too
far too
horrifying,
intense.
Yeah, man. You would not you think you can, but you
can't.
would not handle that.
I'll be the judge of that. I will happily spend the rest of my days in a mental asylum.
Just for that lost episode.
Well, you won't have to know because they did throw something together with vampires.
Before we get there, am I the only one that thought all the paintings that have been Simpsonized were amazing?
Yeah.
Really like tasteful selection
Like
from
the
across
Picasso
history.
Lisa and the surrealist Bart.
I'd hang that in my house.
The surrealist, the apple Bart. Man, it was
I'm pretty
beautiful.
sure that that Instagram feed that Liz loves, the Simpsons tattoos one, has
Oh, yeah.
all of those paintings.
Oh, yeah. And you
Like,
see,
that's
art isn't
such
art
good
until
art.
it's tattooed on a fat guy.
I get it.
And the was it Melting Maggie?
Yeah.
Man, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, this was just all around a very good looking episode.
Yeah.
Even for these
Beautiful.
like old animation and
They really hit their stride with it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is-
totally.
this is
Yeah,
great.
this is stride years definitely.
This is the good shit. Yeah.
So yeah, the final segment, the Bart Simpson's Dracula. Police found a cape on the scene. It says Dracula on it.
No, better than
think
that.
it's a mummy.
No. Better than that. The very first opening line is like, "Today, police were baffled when the local peasant was found with a bunch of holes in it." I love how it's peasant.
Yeah,
That's got to be Groundskeeper Willie.
Local.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
No, man, it's Hans Molman. It's always Molman.
yeah. Molman
He is
died.
the local
Yeah.
peasant.
Up, down I go.
I mean, like, Molman is, like, elderly, but he's not in servitude. Like,
By the
Willie,
way,
servitude.
we didn't mention Molman's death in the school bus episode.
No, the
That was
gremlin on the
so
side of the
good.
bus. Yeah.
Stop short of the tree. Car explodes anyway.
Oh man, and Otto's just willingless. Oh look, it's a gremlin.
Gotta wreck that shit.
Yeah.
Off the road.
No worries, Bart, bro. Let's just fuck that shit up.
Yeah, they Simpsons have a lot of good exploding gags.
Boom.
Yeah. Milk truck. Yeah.
But yes.
Bart
Sorry,
Simpson's
back to
Dracula.
Yeah.
Dracula. Yeah, peasant was hilarious, and then we're like, we think it's a mommy, so I'm ordering the Egyptian wing. Burn to the fucking ground, bitches. That's great work, Eddie.
And you see him throw the Mona Lisa in the fire as well.
Fuck.
I know, just
Yeah, it looks like a
these
mummy.
Great side gags
I know.
as
And
well.
in that open, you've got that peasant gag. You've got the puncher wounds. You've got that bit of destroying the museum. Then you've got Homer saying they're fictional, like Eskimos, and he mentions 2 others.
And they don't bring attention to
And
it. I feel like
that
in
is
the
like
new
a
one,
minute, and they got about 3-4 jokes. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
But yeah, I feel like in newer ones they'd go, Eskimos aren't real, but Dad, they're in Canada. Igloo something.
Canada's not up late. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't go over on it. Whereas this is just quick. Or they try to make like political acumen, like Republicans or something. Yeah, but let's not focus on what they would have done now.
No, they did awesome work back here.
Because then they go to Pennsylvania.
Also, modern Simpsons would have put a pencil gag in there, and that's not funny.
Because it's the
Not a
Transylvania.
Transylvania gag, a
Yeah.
pencil gag. It's the place to be.
Elliot.
All right.
Elliot.
All right, sorry guys, someone else host. I've got to walk out of the room now. I'm not going to top that.
You're never top of that. Your podcast is over. To be pens. Oh my god.
So ends the final episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah, we didn't know. We got another 2 episodes to watch, but we're done now, apparently.
Yeah, what else in that bit, man?
I have it written in all caps,
Say it.
quite
You can do it.
large. It's just
Do it.
super fun happy slide.
No, Homer.
I know I shouldn't, but when am I going to be here again?
Again, animation. I love how his elbows go up and his
I know.
hands go down.
He's so excited, his arms just start bending.
He just does this chicken slap move.
While we're on weird animation moves, when Bart's flying outside the window and he does the face thing, half his face turns one way and the other half turns the other way. It's hard to say in a podcast, but man, I've never forgotten that one
Yeah,
moment.
no, I know the exact bit.
Yeah.
It's weird because
You gotta-
it doesn't look like a mistake. Like, it looks like they intentionally did that. It's weird.
Yeah, I think it's...
I don't know what it is, but yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, I
something
mean, if you go
surrealist
to
it.
like weird Simpsons stills, that Facebook feed, you'll see all like those moments where Bart's head's this way and the bottom half's
I mean, like,
Yeah.
isn't it supposed to be a catch if it's played at what is it, like 24 frames or whatever? How many frames? Like the human eye is supposed to just blend it, but they might have just gone a little bit too long, and then you get like the-
those animation exaggerations that you're only meant to see for half a second, but they help put the
your
whole
brain
piece
processes
together.
the movement. Yeah. So I think like they over exaggerated that so that you do have that sense that there's something wrong with Bart, like his facial features are melding a
he
bit.
is
It's
just
like
turned into a monster.
exactly he's
having him
subhuman.
slightly
Like he's not gonna behave normally.
Great
like,
counter argument. I'm all for it.
And if you say you're a vampire, you get a free small soda at the movies.
yeah. When he crashes in through that window to get to Lisa, they cut and recut, and they show that same scene again and again.
What was that
like
from?
that action cut. That is actually a Jackie Chan thing.
Oh, the double action
shit.
cut.
Yeah, the double action cut.
yeah.
Jackie developed that, and then obviously this was like a Buffy the Vampire take,
Reference,
the
yeah.
Buffy
Yeah.
movie.
The movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
From the mid '90s or whatever.
When it would have
So
been
obviously, well, I'm not obviously because I don't fucking know, but it could be that Jackie Chan influenced the director who then filmed Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who then influenced the people who did
my
Under
this.
the supervision of the
into
saucer people.
exactly. Yeah.
Brand Corporation.
Gasp here, people.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
But I do really like that transition. Sorry.
we're back on track.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I do really like that transition from Bram Stoker's Dracula to the bit outside the window, which is from Buffy, and at the very end we transition to Peanuts.
Yeah. I did think it sort of crawled to the end with the whole, Marge is a vampire.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think it saves it with that. Well, I do have a life outside this house, you know.
I
Yeah,
know. It's nice to know
yeah.
she gets out.
Yeah, even if it is a vampire. you know.
Yeah, she
you do you,
deserves-
girl. If that's what
Yeah.
you want to do.
Oh, yeah, and Lisa hammering the nail, and Dad, that's his
That's
crotch.
his
That's
crotch.
classic.
Sorry, let me take that again. Homer's
Homer
hammering
hammering
the nail, and
Lisa's
Lisa's
fondling Bert's crotch.
I'm going to edit that so nicely.
Rephrase. No, please don't.
All right, unless you have anything else, time for the questionnaire.
And we're back.
Well, just one last thing. It's
Yeah.
just I've noticed
Do
that
it.
when you've got the ghouls crawling out of their coffins, you've got like this beautiful sort of like classic vampire image where they've got like their pointy ears and pointy teeth. But
Yeah,
again, to go
yeah.
back to the color palette, they've gone with this really nice sort of like almost muted fluoro green.
They're
Yeah.
all
Like a-
greens and purple.
Like
Yeah.
a desaturated green.
Yeah,
it's
and then
really sickly. And
and they do the
Teens of
same
today,
sort of
this is
thing.
before vampires were wussy assholes.
Yeah,
real,
I mean, like they
man.
haven't used glitter or anything, and they didn't
Yeah.
make like
Such
a fucking
classic,
joke.
like they're corpsey, they're alieny,
Yeah.
they're really
Yeah.
unhuman.
And then, like, to cut back to the previous part of it as well, is when you see the demons, in hell, you've got like the little demon that pops up. He's got that beautiful like purple as well when he comes up
to
and like
show the
shows
difference
him
between like the demonic and the dead.
yeah.
It's strange that he was wearing overalls, by the way, the demon.
No,
The donut demon.
that's just how you keep your pants up in hell.
Was it overalls or was it
He had overalls.
it was an
and he had
apron.
Suspenders. And,
Different demon.
The big one.
Oh, the big one. Yeah.
By the
Well,
way,
he's got a lot
Dave
of work
says
to do.
apparently there's a toy of that. I would love
Yeah.
this. If any of my loyal
And it
listeners wants to
moves.
give it to me for my birthday,
It moves. It like puts little donuts in his mouth and everything. It's.
can I have one that puts donuts into my mouth?
That's not a toy. That's just a guy. That's a baker.
I'll put donuts into your mouth.
Time for the questionnaire.
Dave, your fetish is coming back, man.
All right.
That's throwing donuts.
Dude, I pled the fifth.
Do you guys remember watching this back in the day? Do you have any memories of
God,
when?
yes.
Yes, absolutely.
This was just so infinitely quotable.
Yeah, I think I've seen this more times than I've seen any of you guys.
I've seen this more times than I've seen my mother.
I've seen this more times than I've seen the inside of my own eyelids.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Nodding.
I've seen this more times than I've masturbated.
Well, that's
Well,
impossible.
Yeah,
that is.
now come on, man. Get real. Get real.
Come on, I've seen this more times than I've asked.
Well, that takes care of question 2. How many times have you seen this episode? Question 3. Were there any jokes you only just noticed on this viewing? Mitt Iodine I only noticed on this viewing.
Mitt Iodine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen and reseen this so many
Yeah.
times that pretty much every little like frame of this is caught to memory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's burned in my eyelids.
I think there have
you
been
know?
times where I have on repeat viewings noticed more and more. Obviously, then you get the Shatner Twilight Zone reference, then you get the Night Museum reference, then you get
You know
everything
more
else.
of the members of the jury of the damned
Yeah,
as you
yeah.
grow
It's
up.
like, oh,
Yeah.
that's why Lizzie Morton's there.
Still don't know who the Flyers are.
Oh,
Yeah.
What do they play?
they play rough, is what they play.
They play by their own rules.
Oh, that's awesome, Dave. Oh, all right, cool. Any jokes you noticed on this viewing? Didn't really answer that question, did you?
Me?
No. Answer the question.
That's kind of like saying, have you noticed anything about breathing new recently? It's like, no.
That's the thing,
This
man.
just comes up often enough that I'm pretty
Get
sure
a
I've
little
got it down.
wheeze when I breathe in a bit too deep now, but that could be an age
nothing
thing.
different.
Like,
That's
tear
just
up
me.
my shirt and I've got like Flanders Satan on my chest.
Ooh.
Oh, please,
Come
man.
on.
If
Yeah.
you did, I would just sleep with you.
If I was ever going to get a tattoo, it would definitely be Devil Flanders. All his various forms and incantations.
All hail Devil Flanders.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see yourself watching this episode again?
Can we?
Right
Yes.
now. Right now.
Nah, we have to watch bad ones now.
Oh. You're really selling it to me, man.
Yeah.
Now, just wackiness doesn't really come into a treehouse, but let's briefly talk about some of the heart there. Bit of heart with Marge, you know, coming to Homer's defense.
Yeah.
and-
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Anything that references their wedding, which
Yeah.
constantly changes.
Oh,
yeah.
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 He ate the whole cake before the vows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And you know they're getting married in the Chapel O' Love and
Yeah.
whatnot.
I mean, for me, the warmest heart moment is Super Fun Happy Slide.
That does warm the cockles.
That warms all the fucking heart.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, not many heart
No,
moments in the
it's
next
not-
bits. It's not what we're here for.
Horror.
Yeah,
You're
no.
here for horror.
Horror.
yeah. Oh, and also just that ever so slightly brief appearance of Kang and Kodos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that means it felt like a Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Had to have it somewhere.
Their
Yeah.
fluoro green, slimy, drooly tentacles.
Laughing at
Aliens
humanity.
being like, ha, stupid humans believing in things that don't exist.
Monsters that
Y'all
don't
say
exist.
Kang and Kodos.
Yeah.
I love a good collar pulling.
Color
moment.
gag, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it felt like a Treehouse of Horror because it is
It
one
is.
of
It
the
is
quintessential
one.
ones.
Yep. Absolutely.
Guys, let's rank this thing.
Okay.
Nice.
Kick it off, Dave.
Cubic.
Stage.
Cubic.
Shag.
Yeah, top shelf, bro.
Yep. Cubic all around.
Again, my notes literally say Super Fun Happy Slide, Cubic Zirconia.
But if I was to rank the individual bits, I'd say cubic, gold. Like, I did think the vampire bit crawls at the end, but it's minor
Super
detail.
Fun Happy Slide,
He's
Cubic
right, you know, he's
Zirconia.
That just
Can
pushed
you
it up
imagine a life without Super Fun Happy Slide? I can understand your point on the rest of the episode, but that is so quintessentially beautiful. I put in our D&D game just to see if someone would pull the lever that said Super Fun Happy Slide, and you fuckers did it.
Yeah,
Wasn't it him that pulled the lever?
How could you? Yeah, it was actually. It was you.
Yeah?
Elliot, you pulled the lever.
I always pull
How
the
could you
lever.
not? It's the super fun happy slide.
So when, as we've discussed many times, when a society crumbles and we all speak in Simpsons terms, when you're walking through the wastelands of Sydney and you like stop someone suddenly and they look at you and you look at them and go, super fun happy slide. You know there is a dangerous trap ahead.
Yep.
But that you're going to take it anyway.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, that's a unanimous agreement. So next, guys, we are going to watch from the 13th season, Treehouse of Horror 12.
13th.
I don't remember what segments are on this one, but I bet it's adequate.
Alright, adequate.
Passable. Mediocre.
Ooh.
All right, it's time
Acceptable.
to edit in the in-between segment music.
And we're back.
We just watched season 13, episode 1, Treehouse of Horror 12. Guys, what did you think?
What didn't I think?
Ooh, good question.
You didn't think that cats make delicious stir fries.
Now let's back up a minute and synopsize this.
So,
welcome.
nothing too much to do with the intro. There was this really weird segment with Mr. Burns get Smithers to put a bat up. The Simpsons are scared when they go trick-or-treating. And then they just run through his fence and then they split into...
We missed a couple of
5
steps there, though, because, I mean, it's not just him putting up the bat. It's him putting up the bat, falling down and going along the power line, falling into the transformer, electrocuting himself with the cheapest looking like electrocution skeleton that I've ever seen in the Simpsons electrocute skeleton history.
They electrocute a lot of skeletons.
They do, but they put a lot of effort in. They make it look like a skeleton.
Oh,
They put shading in on that skeleton. They make the skeleton look kind of like
Yeah.
slightly bone gray. This one, it was just like a slight shade of blue with a roughly skeleton outline.
Can I quickly segue from that?
Go for it.
Okay, so fun fact I learned the other day. So
have a
originally a
segue?
Simpsons joke was going to be that Marge has big hair because she's hiding Life in Hell style ears, Matt Groening's original
Ah, yeah.
comic strip. But you
Yep,
can still
yeah,
see
bunny
when she
ears.
gets electrocuted in
Bunny
the
ears.
Simpsons multiplayer game way back on the arcade. When she gets electrocuted, you can see her ears.
You get
Huh.
your Simpsons facts here first, people.
What
Or last.
color is the skeleton? Is
White.
it bone
White.
or is it just pure white?
It's white. They were working with 8-bit.
Pure
They didn't have
white.
shading.
Okay.
Nice.
'Cause
Simpsons reference.
Thank you.
Anyway.
If you have a look, I mean, like even in the previous Treehouse of Horror episode that we just looked at, whenever you see that that classic shade and flash,
There's more of like an X-ray to it. It's
more of an X-ray, it looks more
Well, like
like
we
a
were
skeleton.
saying with the film was like overexposed and like there was too much light lighting the cells. And stuff like that. These techniques sort of seem to miss when they're going into the more digital seasons.
Exactly, their coloring is all wrong. I'm going to come into that a little bit later, but I kind of took the cheap skeleton effect. Colored this whole episode for me.
Yeah, you're a man who was all
Really?
about his skeleton effects.
I felt the cheap skeleton effect was part of the Halloween decorations vibe, you know? You got the shitty bat hanging up, you got the cheap skeleton effect, you got the... You know, it's sort of that, here's me hanging the Halloween shit on my house vibe, you know?
True, but I mean, like, there's that I'm in the moment looking at it, and I've got the cheap bits and pieces that I'm hanging out.
You know what would have
And
sold it
then
for me?
There is the set, which is them actually putting effort into what's happening, which is
Yeah, look, you
bones.
got to keep separate the gag and the story,
I'll
the
just
undercurrent.
say, like, this-
What would have sold it for me? Hang on. What would have sold it for me is if the skeleton had like the pins in the joints, then it would have been like the
Would've been like
the
that.
decoration gag,
Yeah.
you know?
a little bit.
Right.
I
know-
gotta say though, this was like the only part of the episode that I genuinely didn't like. Like
Rest is
that,
pretty good.
you know, we were looking down the row of all of us, and all of us were rolling our eyes at that bit. Overall, like that intro wasn't very strong. Which I will segue into saying, each 3 of these gags are probably some of the strongest of the teen years of the Treehouse of Horror. Like this was a really good Treehouse of Horror, I thought.
It's pretty good. I mean, to
Pretty
synopsize
good.
for those of you out there. First up, we have Hex in the City, where Homer pisses off a gypsy woman and gets Hex to bring misfortune to everyone he loves. Next up, we have House of Wax, guest starring Pierce Brosnan, who stars as a kind of HAL 2000, thing. and takes over the Simpsons' house and quietly plots to destroy Homer and to take Marge. And finally, we have Whiz Kids, in which Bart and Lisa are, in fact, attending a wizard school, similar to a Potter-esque wizard school.
Oh, Potter-esque. They put him in it.
Potter-esque.
I know.
Yeah, actually, that was another part of the episode that I didn't. Anyway, we'll get back to the Potter
that was-
bit. Let's start from the start.
From the beginning.
Um,
Can I
Gypsy
just
Curse.
bring really quick? There's a well, I think it's fantastic. There's a really quick background gag where
Yeah.
there's a guy. They start off in ethnic town.
Yep.
And there's a guy walking in the background with a big stack of different colored hats.
Oh,
It's
really?
a very weird, straight reference to a children's book called Caps for Sale.
Is that
Which I
right?
read when I was a kid. So,
Wow.
Beej, you got all the answers today. It's
Oh,
amazing.
Fuck off, Beej.
I know,
Seriously,
right?
That's like...
Make me!
That's
It's like he heard that I was
He's
planning
like,
a
well-
trivia and he studied.
Yeah,
Oh,
for real.
you want
this
more?
happens to have an obscure reference to a book that I only read in my childhood. Nobody else has heard of.
You want more? I didn't write down the names of the segments. I just remembered.
Oh, piss off.
that's...
No way.
Check my notes, bitch.
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh
my
my
I'm-
god.
I'm witnessing
All
the
it says
checking
is
of
super
notes.
fun happy slide again and again.
He wrote his notes on his dick, which he has presented in Shag's hand right now.
All fun and no happy
Can't let
slide
go,
makes
Elliot.
Beej a dull boy.
I was going for that same joke. Way to beat me to it, you bastard.
Thank you, Dave. Someone needs to take him down a peg.
That's true.
Chili flakes on the pepperoni? Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, everyone. We're also ordering pizza.
Wait, we are ordering pizza. Yeah.
No, he's talking about the
correction.
episode.
I have
Chip-
ordered pizza.
Oh!
Woo!
So look forward to the pizza interrupting our next recording when we record Treehouse of Horror 26.
Look forward to
But for
that.
now, the Gypsy Curse.
27?
I really liked this bit. I thought even though Homer's like setting everything on fire was a bit hacky, like it was still funny. Like it wasn't repulsive, I didn't think.
I like it solely because he walks through the beads and to get into the room, but to walk out, he turns around, beads!
I did laugh at that line.
And
I love the bit with the shrunken heads once he does set everything on fire.
classic.
The water putter-outers kick in. I think that's what they're technically
Well
called.
done.
Thank
Water
you.
putter-outers, yeah.
And they
No
make
one
the
correct
shrunken
him.
Heads go bigger.
Yeah.
The drunker
Yeah.
I get, the worse my synopses are.
And I also really like when he walks in, he's just got a balloon. He's like, the perfect crime. Might have to be in court on Tuesday.
And it says like birthday boy on it. Like, implication that he just
Yeah,
crashed
within
his
the
party.
Mm-hmm.
of like a minute, he managed to steal a balloon and get caught and subpoenaed.
So just more on this segment. So Homer pisses off a Gypsy. Gypsy curses him. Cursed it.
Cast.
And so Shaggy brought up a good point in the episode where it's not so much everyone around him got bad luck.
Oh yeah.
That they either
she
died.
curses it. No, she specifically curses him with bad luck to the ones he loves. First off, Lenny and Carl he loves. No, that's cool. I can get away with that. But second off, nothing they do to anyone else is bad. Except for Lenny and Carl getting crushed to death.
Yeah,
by the
that's
thing.
bad
That was
luck.
bad
Yeah,
luck.
that's bad
But
luck.
Yeah.
Lisa turning into a
Yeah.
horse, that's just weird mutation. That's not bad luck.
That's not bad luck.
Yeah,
the
Bart
bearded
wasn't
lady,
waiting in the
not
stretchy
bad
and-
luck. Bart's neck getting stretchy, not bad luck at
It's just
all.
messing them the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's altering DNA. That's not bad
Yeah,
luck.
that's turning his family into a sideshow.
It's twisted gypsy shit, which is cool and
Yeah.
horribly.
And if she said, bring
freak-
misfortune to those you love.
yeah,
Oh, wait,
misfortune.
It was
sure.
bad luck.
This is like a thinner reference, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
Thinner?
thinner. The Stephen King
when he was writing under
Yeah.
the Bachman books.
Yeah. Liz and I have a joke where there was this company called Flashengeist where they made like
It looked
special
like
like
potion-
boozers.
It looked like Zelda potions.
I love
Yeah,
flashing
yeah.
guys.
But then, like, I remember, like, drinking some of their stuff, and it made me really farty and bloaty. And then we had, like, a thinner reference where there was a gypsy that said, farty bloaty.
And you were cursed with farty bloaty for the wow.
Exactly. It's like you were
Wow.
cursed with bloatiness, and then, like, you would fart upon the ones that you love.
I think that's
yeah.
exactly what the flashing guy staff was saying to me as I left. You know, farty bloke. What was that?
Farty bloaty.
Oh, nothing. It's
Ah.
just what we
nothing.
say. It's part of the company policy. We just gotta, say goodbye to everyone. It's,
It's by in German.
Do they even exist? Can we
Martin.
get sued
No
from
Christmas
this?
here.
This is parody, right? I mean, like, we've got
Well,
certain
I
exemptions.
mean,
Evil.
depending on who you talk to, Flash and Geist either went out of business or just disappeared.
Yeah, they did.
When
you went to make a
they
return.
fucking did
Like that
disappear.
stall over. Oh no, there it
Ooh,
is.
Yeah.
All right, we came around full circle on that one. So anyway, the cure for the gypsy curse. Homer goes catches a leprechaun. There was a great bit with the cereal, which again I only get now because having been exposed
Oh,
to
the
enough,
tricks?
the
Lucky
tricks,
Charms.
rabbits, and all that. And yeah, you've watched the episode if you're listening
I've
to this
seen Kill Bill.
podcast.
Yeah,
There's
I
a reference.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do really like the line. You can do it with a leprechaun. Yeah, you can also do it with Jesus. Yeah, but leprechauns are easy to catch.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, great Lenny and Cole bit. And I like that bit. Yeah, die first for me. So
That always weirded me out, but I do like the minute after where Moe's just pickled in a jar. You're like, when did that happen?
yeah, and Homer even says, "How did that happen?" And so he catches the leprechaun. Like, I can only think of 2 times that the Simpsons have brought in the leprechaun character that I've liked. Which is the Bart befriends Ralph episode where it's like, that's a
Burn the
leprechaun.
house down.
He tells me to burn things.
Yeah.
And quickly harking back to Terror at 5.5 feet. You're deceptive.
Oh, yeah, I even wrote that down. Yeah, Ralph
Strangely
Wiggum.
astute for Ralph.
Yeah, right.
That's what makes it hilarious.
Yeah, he can only do that like 3-4 times max.
Whereas in this one, he's got dang tickles.
yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Oh.
So yeah, Homer catches the leprechaun, and yeah, and I love all the bits with the leprechaun, like sing me a song of the Unreal Hours.
Tis like I'm there now.
Tis the angels themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then leprechaun and gypsy end up making out, and then it's a happily ending.
I-
Bart's dead.
Bart's dead. He commits suicide,
How?
doesn't he?
Yeah,
No, he tries to
He
at the
puts
least.
his head into the cereal bowl.
Into his
After
cereal.
saying-
He
That's
tries
the
to
last
drown
we
himself
see
in
of
the
him
milk.
before
That's
they
it.
say,
He clonks and then lifts his head up and puts it in the cereal bowl
Yeah.
on purpose.
He says,
And then
I
is
can't live
danced
like this
upon
anymore.
by
And
the
then he's gone.
leprechaun. Yeah.
"Oh my god, he
So-
died in Fruit Loops
Dark moment. I
or
know.
Tricks or Lucky Charms."
Dark and fruity.
Just like the gypsy woman said.
Yeah,
Cross-reference cartoons, I'm sorry.
exactly.
Nice.
Okay. No, it's kind of a sidetrack, but I got to bring it up. So you know how they do the whole angles thing in previous
Yep.
Treehouse of Horror
I
episodes?
do know that.
They did not do that in this one.
No.
There were no twisted angles. They didn't
Yeah.
do that whole sort of
Yeah.
like a...
They didn't Dutch tilt.
They didn't... Yeah, exactly. But also, they changed the color theme. They
Right?
changed it. So the color palette, they had it in the opening. So they had the
flashes
dark
of
to
light
flash.
and
They
the,
had so
the
they went from
contrast.
shadow to flash. They had a couple of the sort of like neon tones and everything. But when they cut to the regular bit of the episode, it goes back
They
to
were
the
back to the
normal
normal
color
Simpsons
tone.
palette. You're definitely
Exactly,
right.
normal Simpsons
100%.
palette. And it just makes it feel like a wacky version of a normal Simpsons
Yes.
episode.
These
Yes.
Treehouse of Horrors around the teens, like especially that's when they transitioned into being less about horror tropes, more about just being able to do wackier things
stuff.
within the characters.
Yeah, but I mean,
And do
like,
tropes like Harry Potter. Harry Potter isn't a scary movie.
No. It's
well,
Dave's like, I
Well,
can make
I
a
mean,
case
it
for
is
this. I can make a case for this.
It is rated PG, and in the little, what it's got in
Yeah,
it, it's got mild, coarse language and some
Fuck
fantasy,
off, mate.
supernatural,
Fuck off.
and some fantasy elements
makes me
may
sick.
scare young children.
okay, young children perhaps, but I mean, it also may scare people under the influence who are in a theater and there's loud sounds.
So it's got a warning, do not take LSD and watch.
No,
May scare people who believe a little too much in Jesus.
Well,
which is like 6 leprechauns.
what doesn't scare those fuckers though? I mean,
Jesus. Wait,
So
no,
all
it
good
does.
for the Gypsy Curse special.
Yes, let's move on.
Moving on.
Moving on to the second one, the man who played
House of
Remington
Oh, the
Steele.
sexiest Pierce Brosnan I've
Ladies
ever
and gentlemen,
seen.
put Remington Steele into Google, hit image search, and then come.
No, it's
No.
Pierce Brosnan beard.
Oh,
Pierce Brosnan.
oh
That's what
man,
Bill's
I was just
Yeah.
like, wow.
Like, remove pants first, put a towel on
Dave.
the seat, put a towel on top of that
Dave,
towel.
please stop.
Dave, stop coming on my microphone. That is
You
so,
don't tell him how to live.
That is so much
man.
cum. You are like a horse.
Yeah, and again, saying with a staunch reputation of heterosexuality, fuck, that's hot.
Can I
Dave,
get some?
coming on the mic?
No, Pierce
Can I
Brosnan
get
with a
some
beard.
orange slices?
Is that your way of saying you're only at halftime? There's more
Oh
coming to
yeah,
come.
there's more.
I
more coming.
got a lot
But
to
wait,
give.
there's more.
Have you seen that picture?
And we're back to the Simpsons.
Yeah, the Pierce Brosnan haunted house. That's great. That is a trope, right? The sentient robot that takes over.
It's literally taking from HAL 3000 from
Yep.
2001. Yeah, it's a trope. It's the
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, they don't beat about the bush. The big red light and everything.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
It's straight rip. It's straight homage. Let's call it an homage. Because
Homage.
it sounds less
A
copyright.
paramount.
Fun fact:
Yeah.
an homage is when you combine a Homer and homage.
This guy wins The Simpsons. Game
am.
over,
Good
man.
night,
Game
everyone.
over.
Now we've both got
Oh,
I know. It'd be a
yeah.
very empty podcast.
yeah.
did
But
like half your
that
episodes.
being said, with like the whole Pierce as a HAL 3000 taking an interest in Marge and then sort of trying to kill Homer,
Yeah.
I gotta say there is a slight Oedipal element to it as well. I
Okay.
mean, Homer,
not-
being the man of the
Getting
house,
Greco over here.
Okay.
man
yeah.
has created artificial intelligence.
So from
man then tries to
from man's creation comes his
Woman
demise.
inherits the earth.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man. Way to bring it round as being smart.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I try and
This
then
podcast
fail
is full
miserably.
of me just going, I love this episode. Cubic zirconia.
But now it's SMART. I mean, no fuck.
SMRT. No, wait. You mean SMRT?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That is
fucked
the
up.
dumbest, smartest thing ever.
Shut the fuck up.
I constantly quote the Homer line in this episode where Pierce Brosnan House makes everybody their food that they love.
Yep.
And Homer goes, various eggs. That to me, I want that dish so much.
Which is also a hark back to one of the first couple of Treehouse of Horrors where they get taken up into the spaceship. No, wait,
Yeah,
is that
that's the
Treehouse of
first one,
Horror?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the first one? Yeah, and then Kang,
Radish
Kodos,
rosettes. They're a very
and-
advanced race.
Yeah, and oh god, I've forgotten his name. No,
Kang.
that can't be.
Kodos.
No, not Kang,
Kang.
not Kodos.
That's his
The
sister.
chef, voiced.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
To pronounce my name, I would have to cut out all your tongues.
If you wanted to make Zlort the Preparer cry, mission accomplished.
Exactly. He made them all
wow.
the food they like, which makes me interested in the fact that Marge has changed her tastes. She no longer likes
Radish rosettes.
radish rosettes, which are hard to make.
Yeah, that's how they know they're an advanced species.
Exactly.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, they were able to analyze the Simpsons' brain patterns. Pierce Brosnan House can only
Analyze their leavings.
Analyze their leavings. I want a house that does that.
And makes you various types of eggs.
Seriously. Yeah, that's. I mean, like various types. That means he must have had a slightly higher sulfuric content.
Well, yeah, see, Pierce Brosnan House wasn't only playing, the short game of trying to kill Homer. He was trying to kill him by cholesterol.
Ooh.
Hey, that is not proven.
Thank you, Dave.
You better run egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything else you want to say about the Pierce Brosnan House?
It is a great trope. It's the hand that rocked the cradle, the single white female. It's done a lot, but it's great here.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite of the three, I think.
Yep.
I think also part of the Pierce Brosnan house is that he demonstrates his fearsome mechanics by like blending. No, not blending. What's it called when you flick the thing on and destroy all your food that you didn't eat in the sink?
Oh, the incinerator.
That thing. Yes.
Garbage disposal.
Garbage disposal, yeah, which is a key factor in so many horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of times, like, people have to reach in and do something with a fucking garbage disposal. And don't go in there. No, don't go in there. No. But, exactly. But he does it right in front of their fucking face. He does it, like, just after they're finished eating. So at a point when they feel that they're most comfortable, that
And
they're
satisfied.
most enjoyable and satisfied,
With their various
he
types of eggs.
demonstrates his power right in front of them.
Oh.
And then later on, he is supposed to have like destroyed Homer using that exact same thing, but it doesn't.
He
work.
only managed to cut off the back half of his head.
I know.
I don't know how that's
and
supposed to
scratch him
happen.
up, give him a couple of fucking scratches and bruises.
But
which means
somehow Homer also made it through the incinerator because he had to burst up from the ground afterwards.
exactly. So like he must have burst through some sort of disposal system, but that again kind of harks back to another earlier Simpsons joke where like everything made in America kind of sucks.
Yeah, true.
It doesn't work. It's completely half-assed.
Hey, he's got one of those robot cars. One of those American robot cars.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, like obviously, even though he's British voiced, he is American made, and as a result, cannot adequately kill Homer even after.
Yeah, he does have some American programming, being that once they remove his British charm unit, he just turns into an American clown.
Yeah.
What was the other line I loved? It. Oh yeah, when Marge is in the bath and he's like, ooh yes, yum
Yum,
yum
yum,
yum,
Yum yum yum.
yum yum yum.
I challenge anyone out there to use that as a pickup line. Just walk up to someone and be like, "Oh yes, yum yum yum."
I think that may be like a crit fail right there. As soon as you use the words yum yum yum, unless you are in some sort of like house of fetish, at which point yum 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 is someone's like safety word or some shit.
Well, it's mine.
No. No what? Speech, no.
Moving
No,
along.
Good
Of
work.
course not. My safety word is "ow, that hurts." Why would you
easy.
pick anything else?
No, you need something because maybe "ow, that hurts" is their turn on.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, guys, this is a different conversation to be had a
On
different
to
day.
the last segment, the Whiz Kids.
That was quick.
Can we quickly just back? I do love the lines. Unexplained bacon.
Unexplained bacon. That is waking up when you've had a night of drinking at Dave's house,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you wake up and
There's
Dave
bacon.
cooking bacon.
You see, I was about to
there's
reverse
Dave
it and say the
cooking
exact
bacon.
same thing about your house, Elliot.
We like to.
Moving on. Also, Pierce tries to kill Homer with the electric hammer Homer invented.
Yes.
Yeah.
With his own invention, again, eatable.
Brutal.
So the Harry Potter segment again. Harry Potter isn't a horror trope; it is just a movie trope. And Simpsons later Treehouse of Horror, and give them some credit. There's only so many horror movies, but then again, they did a good job of this. I thought.
Honestly, I ranked individual, and this got a bronze.
Bronze.
It's okay.
I would call it a silver.
I have the least amount of notes, and I got the least amount of jokes out of it.
I would call it a bronze with a gold character. Gold character. Bart's
Like-
throw a yuppie, like,
the
frog
prince.
prince.
That's true. That is a gold
that
character.
throwing uppy.
Every
frog
moment
prince.
I live is agony.
That guy is gold.
I like the Head Zeppelin joke. She says Head Zeppelin, and Bart's head turns into
Yeah.
a blimp.
Yeah.
That's a good reference to a band I like.
Yeah, me too.
Which band?
Pink Floyd.
You know the inflatable pig from Pink Floyd?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I will say there was a nice little joke I missed every other time I've seen this, is that instead of up on the walls in the school, instead of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, they've got Abracadabra, Alakazam.
Oh, nice.
But written in the same kind of poster form. I like that.
I like Slithers.
Yeah, Slithers.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
There's that weird bit at the end where he just eats Mr. Burns. And like,
Takes him, throats him. He throats Mr. Burns.
quite deeply as
Smithers
well.
has been wanting
Yeah.
that for a long time.
Yeah. He's
Yes.
earned it in this episode, I think.
Yeah, see, the Treehouse of Horror is for the animators to go wild, and if they want to have Smithers deep throat Mr. Burns, this is the only way you can do it and still show it to children.
I feel
Yeah.
like you don't do it. You don't go wild on these episodes. These are your tightest, most well-structured episodes because you only have 7 minutes to be amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, actually,
the difference between
this
season 4 and
actually harks me
season
back
12.
to another thing. When at the school they're doing the presentation, and it's always like a pain for the parents to turn up to these things, and they're like, the kids got to do their fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. But during this, in a previous episode, they've got a kid singing "My Ding-a-ling."
Yep.
Right? My ding-a-ling, my
This act
ding-a-ling.
is over.
Why didn't you play my ding-a-ling? Yeah, exactly. And in this episode, there is kind of a hark back to that with Milhouse trying out his cloak of invisibility, and he tries it on and pulls it off, and he becomes naked. At which point, his dingling is on stage for all to see.
It all
We-
around.
It's a reference
no,
of my dingling.
no.
It's
Surely
a stretch,
not.
But then again,
Well, if nothing else, it's Milhouse tanking the school talent show.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
just
Yeah.
does bring in the good bit of Seymour
No,
Skinner
no,
with
no,
the
no, no, no,
amnesia
no.
dust.
Dave, you're wrong.
no, I never said it was
Whoa.
Milhouse.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's true. I made that connection.
Uh-huh.
But what else connection are you making other than that very weak ding-a-ling?
Oh, come on. There's a dick on stage mentioned twice. One in the
When
past.
isn't
one in
there
the
a dick
future.
on stage?
I don't remember.
A dingling on stage is not a dick on stage. There's no connection there.
Yeah. He wants you to
Necessarily.
play with his ding-a-ling, not his dick. Like,
I still maintain that it's dingling.
He doesn't say that it's his
He's
dick.
referencing that it's his dick, but
He does not say it's his
Skinner knows
dick.
it. Skinner knows. That's why he removes him. He censors him because he's referencing his dick as dingling.
and then Skinner censors Milhouse by spraying the audience with amnesia dust. There you go. There's your double connection.
Thank you,
No
Elliot.
worries. All right, guys, it's time for the questionnaire.
Is it?
Do you remember watching this episode back in the day?
No.
Yes.
No, a yes, and
I do.
yeah.
I do.
Have any memories? This is like 2002, 3 or something. We would have seen it by.
Yeah, I was.
The
I think
gypsy
I was-
cast.
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 How are you enjoying that
Yes,
cast?
I cast you.
Casty?
I know you don't remember me, but
Yeah, I know you don't remember.
Yeah.
That's very good.
how's that cast? I cast you.
Yeah, in
Cast.
terms of remembering this, I'm pretty sure I watched up until like the little bit of the cursey bit with the gypsy, changed channels, changed back again, caught throwing up your frog prints, changed channels, changed back again, caught like the dragon turning into Mr. Burns.
So you caught all
changed
the
back.
shiny
Dude, you
bits.
missed out on Pierce Brosnan.
Brosnan.
Man,
Oh, I remember
Dreamboat.
catching a little
Do you
bit
know
of
he
that.
played
Rainbow.
Remington Steele?
Oh, I remember Remington
and
still
just
better
quickly,
than
the
I
Matthew
remember this
Perry,
episode.
Can I be any more of a house?
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that bit.
Yeah.
And I
The
also
Dennis
like-
Miller bit doesn't really hold up. Dennis Miller's not really a thing anymore.
I also like that.
So there, Dennis.
Fuck you, Dennis.
That
sorry, man.
as soon as someone says
Republican
007, Marge like George Lazenby.
yeah.
What the hell?
And we were just saying the other
Lazenby.
day that
Because
he's
much like her lover Ringo Starr, she always loves the shittest one.
Yeah. All right. So how many times do you reckon you watched it, Dave? You think you've watched it 0.05 times?
Yeah, I can measure this in fractions. That being said, just for something you said earlier, do you remember Pierce Brosnan from Remington Steele? Yes, I do, but I also remember him from a little-known movie called Live Wire, where water becomes an explosive material. It is a great film. I recommend you watch it. It is amazing.
Wow.
Also,
It
the
is-
remake of the Thomas Crown Affair isn't bad. The original's not that great.
Really?
Yeah. Original.
It's not.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
How many times have you seen this, Beach?
40.
40?
40.
Shag.
I'm watching this right now, man. There's no escaping this one.
I've probably seen this one about 10 times.
Yeah, it seems like every time you turn it on and you're expecting to see a good episode, this one turns on. Not that even it's a bad episode. It's just like it's always there, waiting to surprise
Watching.
you. Yeah.
Waiting to
Look.
suck slightly.
Look, it's not a bad Treehouse of Horror by any standards, though. Like, it's good.
It's true. But if you were gonna, if you were gonna pick a good episode, would you pick this one or would you pick like the last one we watched?
Well, see, Treehouse of Horror is... They're a thing unto
Making
themselves.
excuses. Feels like he's making excuses.
And...
You don't have to apologize. You didn't make this.
Yeah, man.
welcome to the
If I
Simpsons
said, hey, pick a good episode, are you likely to pick this one or would you pick the last one we picked?
Is the disc the closest one to him?
No, but I'm not turning it off if it comes on, or I will put this disc willingly on and not skip through this episode.
Wow.
That's
that's fair.
That's the show
Guys, a
of
lot
an
of spare
episode
time.
that's at least tolerable, and I actually really dig this episode. But we'll get into what I really think a little bit later. Any jokes that may have flown over your head? I'm guessing not.
When did this come out?
2003-ish.
2003.
Okay, so I would have got the 2001 reference at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
2000.
considering it was out in what,
18?
Yeah.
I was
Well, I mean,
18.
that doesn't mean I
Was like
saw
18,
it when it came
2003?
out.
Yep.
No, but I mean, like, obviously that film was out before you
So,
had a
like-
chance
Actually,
to
can
see
I
it.
just quickly point out, like, going back and watching this, I didn't actually realize we were that far away from the first Harry Potter movie.
Oh yeah, no, we are far from that now.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
yeah,
like,
it reminds me. Oh my god, I did see it while I was in the back end of high
1,
school.
2002.
Yeah.
I mean, like
it
the
feels like it
whole
was way older.
distance to Harry Potter from us now, like feels like that whole like the Stegosaurus is as like far from the T-Rex. It's actually no further from the T-Rex
Yep.
than we are from the T-Rex.
No, then we are from
Wow.
Stegosaurus?
Whatever it was, but I know what you mean.
I'm pretty sure it's like Stegosaurus, T-Rex, T-Rex, us.
Whatever.
I
Have you
think,
seen that photo
but
on
I
the
could be
internet?
wrong. That could be a chance for you to prove me wrong and get me back.
I already have you.
Have you?
Phone in on
Yep.
1300.
Do you see yourself watching this episode again? We'll start that way down the line.
It's one of those ones that I wouldn't turn off when it comes on. I think Pierce Brosnan is great in his role. I quite like the Gypsy Curse bit. There was this line about, pull my clover, which I'm pretty sure I did not get as a child. Shrunken Heads was pretty great. And just hearing her say curse 1,000, I could hear that all day. I should change my ringtone to that. Beach, quick,
Chaos.
set an alarm. Daniel, change your ringtone to cursed.
I'll do that. Doop, boop, 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 boop.
Thank
And
you.
while you're at that, Peach, would you tell me if you'd watch this episode again? That was smooth as fucking sandpaper.
Would you tell me?
Oh, I'll tell you. And that answer is yeah, sure.
How about you, Dave?
Maybe. I mean, like,
What else have you got to do?
well, lots. But again, I may rewatch a little bit of it for the Pierce Brosnan. Again, as Hal 3000, except with a beard. That'd
I love that shortening, Hal
Fucking do me.
3000.
Hal 3000.
That's the reboot in 3001.
Yeah.
Come on, Hollywood these days will be the reboot tomorrow.
Yeah, his for sure my fan fave.
Follow Hal
I'm outta
3000 on Instagram.
And
Hal
the only
3000.
reason I would definitely watch this again is for the throw you up your frog prince.
Yeah.
He did not throw up enough in this, I think. There were
I really
chances.
hope there's a gif of that.
There
there's a
should be.
GIF.
Oh, yeah, there is.
There'd have to be.
There's
If
a
not,
GIF.
we can make one.
Or a
Yeah.
GIF.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's a GIF.
No. It's not a graphical user interface.
Let's rank this thing.
Oh.
All right. How about who kicked it off last time?
I believe it was Dave.
Let's go that way down the line.
Aren't you next to Dave? Oh,
All right.
No, I kicked
Sorry.
it off first.
There's a line. I'm looking at a line.
oh, I see how it is.
And everything the light touches is its kingdom. Get it? It's a line joke.
Audience, I'm flipping Elliot off.
Flipping off.
Nod, 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 nod.
Nodding.
Rank this thing, Shag. Danny.
Alright. This is actually one I'm having trouble ranking. I literally can't tell whether I like it or not. I don't want to give it like a gold. Oh shit, man! This is really confounding me. You know, it doesn't have a natural instinct. I think I'm gonna give it a silver. It's not like bad enough to say bronze. They were good. All three parts were enjoyable. I really enjoyed the Pierce Brosnan one, which is weird because I mean, there's nothing much to it. It's a pretty basic premise for 7 minutes, but overall, I walked away happier from this one than I walked in. I think. Doesn't mean I necessarily go and watch it again, which is why I'm probably not going to hit it with silver and things. But all three premises enjoyable on their own, not amazing, but you know, in life, what is, man? What is?
That's right. We just we take the good moments and we move on to beach. Would you
Beach.
rank it?
What do you got for me? Hit me with a rank.
First segment, silver. Second segment, gold. Third segment, bronze. That averages out to a silver. Dr. Cheeks out.
Wow.
In and out with surgical precision. That's how Dr. Cheeks works.
That was such a drop mic moment that the mic actually like rose to the ceiling just then.
I've caught up on my rounds, and now I'm going to take a seat.
Oh, Dave, what do you rank it?
Woo! Okay. Well, I don't know. For me, like, the Treehouse of Horror episodes are always kind of my bag. It's my thing. I would always back-to-back them every Halloween as much as I could. And, like, I kind of know them inside out and back to front. And I love them for a few kind of key features which this episode definitely lacked. It did have, like, a brief flash of that shade to Flash and everything. It had like a brief slice of that color palette that I loved in a lot of the old sort of Treehouse of Horror episodes. a lot of the older Treehouse of Horror episodes, they carried their own storyline. They weren't really sort of like tagging on and say like a Harry Potter theme or anything. They were kind of harking back to either their own sort of their own story, or they were picking up some classic horror stuff or classic sci-fi stuff like
highbrow reference, man.
Yeah, like
so many Twilight Zone episodes.
So many Twilight episodes.
Well, that was the joke when I was running the Halloween trivia when I was doing the Simpsons section. Is there was a what is this segment originally referencing? And my joke was they were all Twilight Zone bits. Because I managed to pull out 12 of them. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Sorry
mean,
to cut you off, Dave.
No, that's fine because you completely proved a little bit on my point there. In that this one, it just lacked the spirit of previous Treehouse of Horror episodes.
You riff on the classic horror and strange fiction rather than the here's a Harry Potter bit.
Yeah, I mean, like this one just felt like it had that new wave Simpsons where we're kind of quoting new shit for the sake of quoting new shit, not so much for the fact that it has that classic old school horror flavor to it. And as a result, oh no, the Throw You Up Your Frog Prince is making this a bronze. I was gonna go participant.
Wow,
but solely
you just got thrown up a bronze.
Solely on that character itself, it kind of
Curse.
just bumped. No, not even Gypsy Curse, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. I was just thinking out loud. The Gypsy Curse one is like a weaker version of the Monkey Paw one. Then the HAL 3000 one is like a weaker version of the haunted house that self-destructs rather than live with the Simpsons.
And some terrible stuff.
Yeah.
I do love that one.
Exactly. So like the only real like not exactly gross out, but the only real sort of like dark part of that was this creature which was created solely to suffer. And you know,
every moment I live is pure agony.
Exactly. Like that's the only real depth that I got out of this episode. And it's the only thing that dragged it out of participant and into bronze for me.
Wow. Oh my god. Okay, because I'm throwing the
He's
gold
giving it a
medal on this baby.
Wow.
I love this Treehouse of Horror. I don't cubic zirconia love it. Don't get me wrong. I do realize this is not classic days. This is not the sci-fi tropes, and I'm not totally on board with the Harry Potter thing because it's not technically a scary movie. The other two things, Haunted House and Gypsy Woman, maybe they're derivative and maybe Simpsons are rehashing, but I thought they carved out their own with both these bits. And, you know, this is one of the only times I like the Leprechaun. I don't know. I still quote a lot of this episode. I have no shame giving this the gold medal.
That's cool, man. You follow your heart.
That's right.
Can't tell you how to be.
That's right. Well, from this panel, it averages out into bronze, silver.
Bronze is out, averages out to a silver.
Silver. Yeah. Okay. I'm very comfortable
Hey,
with
way
that
to be in the
placement.
majority, man.
Boom! We were right all along, Beach.
Clearly.
Voting is important. All right, so now we're going to move on to the final episode of the evening. Guys, we're going to watch Treehouse of Horror 26. Oh my god, Dave is already hurting.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
This is the one where Sideshow Bob finally gets Bart.
Okay.
I have two shoes,
mean,
and you're in throwing range.
Does that mean that halfway, no, not even halfway, at the beginning of this episode, are you going to pull the plug on the TV and we're going to miss most of it? Plug it in.
No, I think
Rock tumbler or the TV?
The TV. Except I'll be saying the rock tumbler.
Can we tumble some rocks?
Instead, yeah.
Do you have a rock tumbler?
You should.
Nah, but
You have a dryer.
if I did, I would set it loose on some belts far. Seriously.
Let's just put some bricks in your dryer.
No, let's race the washing machine and the dryer.
Oh.
Yes, please.
Stupid dryer. All right, we're going to watch a really bad episode of The Simpsons now.
All right, but tell us what you really think.
Huh?
Don't judge that before we've watched it. You are watching this with a biased opinion.
I know, and I'm trying to bias your opinion up. Come on, get biased.
Well, I think
That
this
is-
episode's going to be... I can't finish that sentence.
I am approaching this with an open heart.
Let's drink more.
Cue the theme music. We are back. We just watched season 27, episode 5, Treehouse of Horror 26. Guys, what'd you think? No. Guys, what'd you
That's
think?
better. If you cut out the whole first part, that's going to seem really strange.
That's true.
So this was a really strange episode. The pacing was disgusting. The concepts really Man, I mean, I'm sure it seemed like a great idea while they were doing it. No, it didn't, because the writing is like they got bored while they were writing
Danny,
it.
why don't you take us through those concepts just quickly?
So yeah, first thing, you have the Ren and Stimpy animation couch gag sort of semi-bit,
No, look,
which was weird.
It was weird and disconnected, but it was great. It was really in character.
That was a
Probably
really
the highlight of the episode.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a
Then
really
what was-
good Elliot impression, dude.
You're welcome.
So what's the first section again? Is
First section was Bart kills Lisa, wasn't it?
no.
Sideshow Bob finally kills Bart.
How satisfying. And then after that was a really racist Godzilla thing.
We'll get
Yep.
there. Godzilla parody, and then a Chronicle parody.
Did it actually change to Chronicle, or was Chronicle supposed to be carried on from Godzilla?
They're not smart enough to carry shit on. This was a movie.
Yeah. They got distracted. They
Also-
felt like that.
So anyway, that first opening bit, okay, this is probably the highlight of the episode for me. So it's done in that John K style, that Ren and Stimpy Nickelodeon style. Simpson kids are going trick-or-treating, and there's like this song about the ghost man who eats all the ghosts. And I mean, I can't point to specific things that I liked about it just at the moment, but I liked it.
I see.
It's a lot of their modern couch gags are actually pretty good. I mean, you got that great Guillermo del Toro one where they reference a whole bunch of random old school horror stuff as well as Guillermo's stuff himself.
Again,
That's
a
a great
highlight of that Treehouse
Which
of
I think
Horror.
is a lost episode for us because we were wasted at the time.
Yeah.
So we got to do that again. It'll be fun. And then there's a lot of they've been able to, and same with the Rick and Morty intro couch gag. They're at the point now with like, hey, do you guys want to come in, direct/write your own couch gag? And they obviously get it because it's such a staple of entertainment now.
And at
Hertzfeld got one.
And at this time, John Kay had actually done a few for them. Like, there are a few couch gags which are done totally by him. I don't know if this one was, but it's at least in that very Nickelodeon style.
And it's very recognizable. Yeah.
Did you guys like that bit, or?
Yeah, I mean, it ends very abruptly, but I suspected it would.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how you end it. You can't. So it's just Marge just going in now for the cartoon. But, that's
I like that because it's a Rocky and Bullwinkle throwback, but
exactly.
I understand how it'd be lost on a lot of people.
No, it was very quick, but I figured that's pretty much how they have to go. They have to go for that quick ending.
So, which leads us into the first segment of Bob finally gets Bart.
Itchy and Scratchy did it.
Yeah.
So, okay, Bob finally kills Bart, but then finds that life has no flavor after his death because killing him was such a big part of his life and it's such a thrill. So he makes a machine and then starts bringing him back to life again and killing him again and bringing him to life again.
Itchy and Scratchy did that.
Yeah, that's what
Oh
I'm
my
saying.
god, you're right. Yeah, the cloning machine and the killing machine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they fed into each other.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, at this point in the episode, we've got to mention that Dave did have to run off for emergency, but he has ranked this episode.
And he's left
we
his
have taken
crib
his
notes.
opinion down, and if you could reference them in your worst Dave impression possible, that'd be great.
I thought the open-up was beautiful in its brevity.
Dave?
It's like he's just right
You can
there
do like
next to
the
me.
perfect Elliot and the perfect Dave. That's amazing. I never knew, man. I never knew. Are you all my friends? That name
Oh,
is
shit,
Dr.
man.
Cheeks, and I'll see you next week.
That's right. Oh man, it's like your brain in a jar. No, wait.
I feel myself disappearing right now.
Yep, you're just Back to the Futuring out of the reality.
Maybe all there is this podcast.
There's more.
Yeah, so Bob gets Bart. Let's. I'm just going to quickly peel off a couple of things I liked. The dark arts guys.
Yeah.
Black magic guys.
So, Bob, to build his machine, loots some stuff from the science lab, loots some stuff from the chemistry lab, loots some stuff from the dark arts department. It's like, those guys know how to party, and they would.
Yeah. I liked that bit. I also liked the bit where he is teaching a course. Apparently, he's a college teacher now. They just sort of drop us right in that bit. He's all like, "What did T.S. Eliot mean by this bit?" And they go, "I found an article online that says it's about the internal truth." And then everyone's like, "Oh, tweet me this. No, bling me that. No, I haven't got it yet." Look, I'm not doing it justice now, but that was a very good bit.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Millennials.
Sorry, I criticise myself for going over shit too much and not just talking about the general concept like when I'm listening back to these
Well, I feel like this
episodes.
is one not a lot of people have seen. That's why I feel it's kind of probably better okay to go into
in
a
the
bit more
gaps.
detail.
Yeah. Anything else you liked about this segment before we rip it to shreds?
I do like that Skinner walks in on Bart being murdered and just goes, well, luckily school hours are over, and it's kind of a Skinner out moment. I'd like that. And
Oddly, I didn't like that.
it's just like, nope, not my problem leaving.
Yeah.
As someone who also likes to go, not my problem leaving. To be fair,
I love that cartoon that you did, that you posted that was just 2 panels, and it's a guy with his hands in his pockets, and then in the next panel it's his hands above his heads, and it says, I guess.
Yep. That's how I live.
That's you in 2 panels.
Yep. Yeah, United place, I guess, with whatever, but you know. I do have another paragraph of notes, and they're all complaints.
Can you go through them to the tune of the HMS Pinafore?
Oh shit! I mean, yes, but hang on a second.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 3,
and a 4. And the background of Milhouse's phone is American Doll, and that was shit. That makes no goddamn sense. It has no part of it.
And the
And he mentions that
little
he's-
buttercup in the tune of that one.
Bob mentions he spent 24 years trying to kill a 10-year-old. It's a nice meta humor, but also fuck that, it's stupid.
Lame. Yep.
Let's see. And then when reviewing papers, he mentions Game of Thrones. What was that? And it
That
has
was
nothing to do with anything.
just to say Game of Thrones in a section.
Yeah, and it's
there
like-
was no joke around.
This is the writers just going, hey, this is a thing people like, let's reference it.
Yeah. They could have done the Bob Gets Bart bit. I don't know. Like, sometimes there's times when I watch these new episodes and it's like, am I just so overexposed to the old ones that I just it's totally
Man,
rosy-colored
The writing
lenses?
is really bad in this.
Yeah, they
in
just-
fact, it was literally what Beach was talking about in the last episode and saying it's so good they don't do this. Well, you guys probably heard before when he was saying they just make a gag and then move on as if it didn't even happen. They don't sit there for hours talking about, hey, this was the joke, everyone look at the joke.
Yeah,
like when Sideshow Bob kills Bart and then they're just like, check it out, he's so killed Bart. Oh my god, Bart's totally dead, guys.
Yeah.
For like
Yeah.
5 minutes.
And I don't want to criticize it for being
Yes, you do.
gross
Yeah,
or
I do.
MA plus, but
Oh.
because I like stuff like that, like South Park and Quentin Tarantino and etc.
There's a different tone of violence, though.
Exactly,
very
and
different.
there's a different expectation with The Simpsons, even in a Treehouse of Horror. And I don't know, I just felt like a lot of the killings of Bart were gross, and like even in the first one where he pulls the harpoon and pulls his heart out, and then he drapes his intestines around his throat like a scarf. I just
Oh man, it was really weak writing. You know, it didn't feel funny.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
to bring it back to the first one we watched, Lionel Hutz walks in, combing his hair with a fork, and then puts it in his pocket quietly. He's not even talking about that when he walks in. Whereas I
Right.
feel like modern episode would have been like, hi, I'm Lionel Hutz. I've recently been disbarred. That's why I'm combing my hair with this fork I found in your dumpster. I'm keeping this fork I found in your dumpster because I'm Lionel Hutz. It's like, no, he just kind of does it and they move on. It's just there if you see it, if you're paying attention. Whereas now they just stop. Hi, we're mentioning Game of Thrones. That's a reference you kids get, right? Please like us.
yeah, you almost saw
Like and
the
subscribe.
Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe.
at Simpsons Index. So yeah, anything else on the Sideshow Bob bit before we move on?
It's just kind of grim, and that was such a tonally off bit.
Yeah, not a lot of it was like funny. It's like
Well,
funny.
I do have. I do like that Sideshow Bob still has Die Bart Die tattooed
Yeah,
on his
that was
chest.
cool.
No, that's German for the Bart. The.
Yeah, good callback. And then like, I don't know. There was a part of me that likes where Homer turns him around, pulls up the tattoo that says "I love Bart." There's a part of me that sort of likes that, but I don't. Maybe the delivery wasn't that great.
Yeah, I do like the joke where Homer goes, "Well, he obviously didn't do it. Let's look to the next person on the list." And the next person on the list is Homer. Seems like that was
Yeah.
okay. That was okay for a joke. But yeah,
Yeah, they didn't hark on it too long, which I feel like if they made a mistake, they would have had a Homer interrogates Homer scene that would have been like terrible. But they didn't, so good.
That really could have gone either way. But yeah, that's all we have. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, and Lisa finding Bart was stupid, and the reanimating
Yeah.
the lamp, and
Well, like,
all the reanimation scenes.
Gasp
that were
at a
just-
completely dissected Bart was, the same gasp she gives to everything. It's like you just found your brother cut into 6 pieces. That's maybe a bit more shocking then.
Yeah, and Homer makes a comment about the animation. I felt was pretty meta. I don't know. It wasn't that funny though. So we move
It
on
was
to the
not.
next segment, which was horrible. Look, I'm a white person. I don't know what it's like to be racially prejudiced against. I don't even know what the word for it against me is. But I personally feel, as a white person, that this was very racist.
Yeah, there's a line between... Okay, they've done this before. Like, okay, think way back to the Osaka flu, where they cut to, I think it's Taiwan, where they're filling the Krusty Burger boxes, and they do the bad English dubbing there. Where he's like, please don't tell the supervisor I have the flu. And then they laugh out of sync with themselves.
Yeah.
That's an homage. In this, they're like, let us now laugh in out of sync, out poorly dubbed bits. And it's like, okay, that's not necessarily racist, it's just a bad joke. But then you get to Bart and Lisa, who are just speaking in broken English for no reason. Contextually, they're speaking in, the language they're speaking in Japan, because it's supposed to be parodied in Japan, and that would be like translated to English because they're just speaking normally, and we're just having that, not necessarily as a translation, but as understanding of what they're speaking, because we're not going to have subtitles. So it's just, why are they speaking broken English? It implies that they're in a foreign country where they've grown up and are speaking broken English for no reason, and it's just
But I think it's like it's meant to be overall a bad dubbing gag, but the bad dubbing gag is always undercut by the fact that the animation is synced up to their mouths, and not.
Bad dubbing doesn't involve bad English or broken English. It's just it doesn't sync. That's bad dubbing.
No, but there's times in bad dubbing where like the sentences are broken and. Like, oh, you must honor us because that is the way. Like, that is like...
It's trying to match the translation literally. Also trying to fit the spaces of their mouths opening and closing, I guess.
But later on, they drop the broken English anyway. And it's just like...
Yeah.
And for all I feel like Lisa sounds like she's trying to speak in haiku, but keeps getting it wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I just found the whole Godzilla bit offensive. And,
The black and white Godzilla.
Yeah, and then... quintessentially comes back to what you were saying about the unfocused writing.
Oh, that was the lead-in sentence. Yeah, no, I really felt like by about halfway through the Godzilla, what feels like halfway through the pacing of the Godzilla episode, the writers got sick of writing it. They're like, this was funny, but not that funny, so we're going to move on. And then they just like changed the channel. Let's do something else for now. And then suddenly we're in the other movie, which was...
Yeah, they literally transitioned from the original black and white to executives watching that original black and white going, let's remake this. And
that was like them saying, hey, this is boring, let's do something else. That was a shot of the writer's room being like, I'm over this gag, let's just
And then Godzilla drinks a Buzz Cola truck, and then there's a bikini model, and I feel like they're making a statement about movies in the early 2000s, not in the mid-2000s when this would have aired. Mid-2010s.
I don't know, it wasn't too many years ago we had Brad Pitt stop in the middle of a zombie apocalypse to drink a Pepsi. Cold, refreshing Pepsi.
Get fucked, is that what happened in
World
War Z?
World War Z. Stops in the middle of everything to drink a Pepsi.
Oh man, no shit.
Yeah.
There's a reason I didn't see this
the
movie.
most... there's plenty of product placement in movies. That is like one of the most blatant, ridiculous ones outside of like a Michael Bay movie.
I was watching Age of Ultron and I noticed Mark Ruffalo, the Incredible Hulk, uses Beats by Dre to calm down after he's been the Hulk. Listens to classical music on his Beats by Dre.
Well, nothing goes together.
Dre, can we have an in sponsorship endorsement?
Nothing goes together like classical music and Dr. Dre.
Word. Quote Mozart.
No, I think Mozart was drop the beat and Beethoven was word. Learn your history, man.
Who was the first one to say put your hands in the air and wave them like you don't care?
Grandmaster Flash.
No shit.
Something like that. Pretty sure it's Grandmaster Flash.
Speaking of...
I did research this once. Anyway, I have literally one note on this, and it's... how does parody work again?
Yep. I feel that's an accurate assessment.
It's just not... It's not parody, it's stuff that's happening in the vein of a thing that exists.
Whose Kosciuszko was that?
It's yours, man.
The one near me is mine, the other one... Kosciuszko. Crisp, refreshing beer.
Also, there's the one near your foot, which might also be yours.
It had beer in it. Now it doesn't.
I see.
Kosciuszko. They have beer in them. Make sure they don't.
So the final bit was apparently a Chronicle parody. I haven't seen the Chronicle. What's the Chronicle? Tell me and the viewers at home.
Chronicle is a found footage movie where they stumble across a meteorite and get superpowers, and one of them turns evil with the power because he was a nerd who got picked on and is now like, haha, I will make everyone suffer because now I'm strong. And
Wait,
stuff.
did Max Landis direct it?
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I think so.
Is my name IMDb? Is my name IMDb?
No, you
It's
are...
Dr. Cheeks.
You are IMBT.
Oh, freaking applause, motherfucker.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just, yeah, have an Oscar.
Oh, you guys.
Just take Marissa Tomei. She doesn't need that.
So the Chronicle bit, yeah, I... See, this is something that I love about the old Treehouses. I didn't need to understand the references. I still, to this day, haven't seen that episode of Twilight Zone. I haven't seen The Shining.
Fuck off.
I won't fuck off. I have not seen The Shining.
Well, that's fair enough, I guess, but you probably should.
I probably
You
should.
probably should. See Goodfellas as well.
It's...
I know it is. That's
over
why
there.
it's annoying.
It's in shrink wrap still.
I know it's
Oh,
3 hours.
Goodfellas.
And 3 hours are fantastic.
The funny thing is, it's like on Netflix as well. I've got
Yeah.
2 avenues
I
to
have
watch
2
it.
shoes. I can still throw them at you.
It's so good, man. But I liked Departed better, I think. Oh, Goodfellas, man. Like, the whole gradual build-up so you kind of see the perspective of why he turns
Yeah.
to a life of crime. And, you know, this is way more important
Yeah.
than The Simpsons.
I was about
Simpsons
to-
is on hold, guys. We're going to talk about the
will
Goodfellas.
happily turn this into the Scorsese index.
For real.
All right. Is a Matthew McConaughey quote.
Also, Andre 3000.
So, look, anything you want to else say about the Chronicle bit? I don't know. I just thought it was really flat and unmemorable all around.
Well, it has a bit that I really hated where Milhouse, after like getting revenge, people goes, everything's coming up Milhouse. It's like,
He honestly said that? I missed that.
yeah, it's like they're taking a
Is
bit
that like
they
dropping
know.
a catchphrase?
But it's,
Yeah.
it's taking like a random line that people that, like us quote because we love that bit and trying to rehash it. Again, it's almost like this is popular. Wow, we said it. And the same with back in the Sideshow Bob one, in the first one, where he's like,
Okay, I want to point out for the record, in that Sideshow Bob bit, you can almost hear like a vinyl hiss over when they play that. I'm pretty sure they fucking sampled that from the earlier
Look, yeah,
episodes
because he tries to do
and
it.
poorly imported it into this.
He does
one.
it at the end of the episode. It's completely different. So I think that's the new
Yeah,
one.
because they had to tie it with him being part chicken, part snake, and all that, which again is fucking reminiscent of an old Treehouse of Horror where Homer was the part chicken, part fucking everything,
Yep.
and laid an egg. Oh my god, that was the punchline to that bit as well. This is such a hacky fucking shit episode.
Yep.
Let's shoot through this questionnaire.
Oh, wait, no, I got more problems.
Oh, you got more problems?
Also, at the end of the Chronicle one, it's got Maggie, who also gets exposed and is just changing things in the world. And for some reason, we flashed that bit of Vladimir Putin riding a horse with no shirt. And she puts a shirt on him. It's like,
Yeah.
why is it? It's just a random nothing bit, and it feels like they're going for the lol so random that millennials love so much, and it's fucking stupid. I'm done.
Fair enough. Either of you seen this episode again? Before, sorry?
No, haven't seen it, man. I haven't seen it. But I really don't feel that I do need to. I mean, I might actually do it to have some more fun picking on and critiquing it. But that being said, while the critiquing is fun, it's not enjoyable to watch. I could really spend my time more productively by staring at a blank wall and critiquing that.
I'd like to unwatch this episode. I would like negative amount of watches.
I don't know, there's a part of me that still likes to watch the bad ones because it's like, here's what not to do.
Oh, man. It makes a good one seem so much better by comparison, you know? You grow up with this stuff and you're just like, hey, this is normal Friday night television. It's 7 o'clock on Channel 10. It's only in retrospect that you're like, wow, I was truly blessed as a child.
To have grown up in this golden age.
Yeah,
Totally.
for real.
So smart, so witty, so satirist. So you don't see yourself watching this again. Did this feel like a Treehouse of Horror? Because, look, arguably, we had mixed feelings on the last Treehouse of Horror we watched, but you can't say it didn't feel like a Treehouse of Horror.
I feel like this is, you've gone in for a relaxing massage and you've laid down and put your face in the face hole and then someone rubs their butt in your face.
Stank and all.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's what that feels like. Not like that's actually happened before.
No, you're right. It was a butt when you were expecting a foot.
What kind of massages are you going for?
And we're back. Let's rank it. Okay, so what did Dave say before he left? What did he rank it?
The Black Arts Party was really good.
Oh yeah, he did say that. What else did he say?
And now to end the episode, before we rank it, here are Dave thoughts. Take it away, Dave.
I really like Bob playing with Barb's guts.
All right, Dave. Well, I personally objected to that, but, you know, tell me more. Tell me more.
I don't like him singing. I think it's shallow.
And we're back.
And we're back. No, cut. Come on, add your singing.
Can't do it, man.
No, you can. You got the spirit. You got the moxie.
It's over. The Bob Grunt. We did that. The rake gag. Did we mention the rake gag? It was in there. It shouldn't have been.
Bullshit back reference to a better bit.
He mentioned the Black Arts Party was a funny gag.
Mm-hmm.
Bob and Scratchy, like the Bob and Bart, Itchy and Scratchy thing was real. Like when
Complete
you said the
parallel.
whole. Oh my gosh! I mean, it was such an obvious vibe of the bringing back kill him thing. But
Oh my god, that's it. Those jokes might have been funny if it was an Itchy and Scratchy, not a Sideshow Bob and Bart.
Yeah.
Damn.
But when Beach pointed out that the whole plot was a direct lift of a Scratchy episode, I mean, that's just, wow. Disgusting. And then he says he stopped taking notes and started eating pizza. Oh, yeah, okay.
That was some good pizza.
He has voted to give this a no.
And again, as my former training as a finance guy, I know the translation and the exchange rate from no is to failure in our...
Nodding.
And we're back.
So usually I kick off the HD era rankings, and I will. This is a failure, ladies and gentlemen. I could have given it a participant, but I feel... Look, okay, ranking each 3 segments, participant, failure, super failure, and the last one, again, failure. So even though I didn't like the Sideshow Bob bit, I felt like there were enough good gags to give it some buoyancy into the participant rank, but the rest of it was just bad, and the middle bit was offensive. Beach, what'd you think?
Failure.
Wow. 3 fails. What are you giving it, Shaq?
Oh, it's definitely a failure. What I want to say is that the Simpsons canon would be that much stronger for not having it. You know, if this wasn't an episode, the Simpsons as a whole would be that much more powerful. I feel like you could say that about any bad episode, but yeah, it's an anti-cubic zirconia. This is the opposite of what you want in The Simpsons, and its presence in reality makes reality a worse place because of that.
No, like, we didn't enjoy the experience of watching this episode.
It really feels like I'm exaggerating and being melodramatic, but it was very disheartening.
Yeah, it was. See, yeah, even like throughout the late teens and the early 20s, I still felt like the Treehouse of Horrors had some appeal. Because of their fantastical elements, they were allowed to get away with a lot more shit, but somehow, in this one, they managed to find a new low.
It's a really unpleasant experience.
So, I read a thing the other day, so the Adventure Time thing, I thought it was a full crossover episode. Turns out it's probably just going to be a couch gag.
That's probably good.
Makes
That's,
sense.
that's very
wrong with that.
relieving.
Rick and Morty was great. I'm all on board.
Yep. And in the latest Treehouse of Horror, Frank Grimes will return in ghost form.
Why? They keep
They did it
dropping
once
him.
with Maud.
But the only people that even watched this show weren't alive when that episode came out.
Yeah, it's...
Except for Elliot.
Except for Elliot. So yeah, look, man, it always sucks to end this podcast on such a depressing season 20 note.
Yeah. We should start at the latest seasons and work backwards. I think I see the light now. God, I need some time to just cry into my pillow after this episode.
Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to do some crying. And
Yeah, I'm going to ruin it some more by trying to play the Smash Brothers failure sound effect. And there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about good. Wow, so for the extended episode, Dave, thank you for coming tonight.
You're welcome.
Danny, thank you for coming tonight.
It's alright, man. I had nothing else on.
Beach, thank you for coming tonight.
I'll be here until the pipes close.
And I'm your host.
Elliot J. O'Neill, and I'm never tapping out.
Thank you for checking out the Simpsons Index podcast. Don't forget to go to www.thesimpsonsindex.com for the spreadsheet and information about upcoming episodes. No?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Dave, just a test on your mic.
Oh.
Do 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 do.
Oh.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I gotta find new exciting ways to piss him off. I'm gonna work on it.
Play with your mic a bit.
Actually, yours could probably stand to come up and just as long as
Volume.
All right,
How am I doing?
maintain that.
Maintain that? Oh, man, it's gonna piss you
On
off.
that exact timbre.
Or I can just speak normally.
Timbre.
The freeway.
All right, and we are. I don't want to.
Hi, we're live.
Yeah.